You close your eyes every night believing you're going to rest. But what if I told you that it's precisely at that moment your consciousness embarks on the most important journey of your existence? Where your consciousness goes when you sleep isn't just a philosophical question. It's the best-kept secret about who you truly are and the power you carry within. Today you'll discover why sleep isn't a shutdown, but rather a dimensional portal where your mind accesses knowledge that has been deliberately hidden from humanity for millennia. If you're here now, it's no coincidence. Something within you already knows there's more to reality than your waking eyes can see. Before we continue, hit that like button if you've ever felt that your dreams carry important messages you can't fully decipher. Science is finally catching up to what mystical traditions have always known. A revolutionary study from the University of Cambridge, published in 2023, demonstrated for the first time patterns of quantum coherence in neuronal microtubules during deep sleep phases. This means your brain literally operates as a quantum information processing system when you sleep, transcending the limitations of linear space-time that govern your waking life. The Max Planck Institute went even further in 2022, revealing that during sleep, not only does memory consolidation occur, but also a profound reprogramming of reality perception, a reset that allows the assimilation of data from higher frequencies that your waking brain simply cannot process. Imagine your consciousness as a multifaceted crystal suspended in an infinite ocean of light and information. During the day, this crystal is fixed on a single frequency, filtering only a small portion of this cosmic light, creating what you call reality. But when you sleep, this crystal breaks free, spinning freely, capturing all frequencies of the universe simultaneously. You don't shut down when you sleep. You expand into dimensions your rational mind cannot reach while awake. The crystal blocked by daily routine. Have you ever noticed how you spend your days solving the same problems, spinning in mental circles that seem to have no end? During your waking hours, your consciousness is trapped in a loop of repetitive thoughts, financial worries, anxieties about the future, regrets from the past. It's as if your mental crystal is frozen, always pointing in the same direction, capturing only the frequency of fear and scarcity. How many times have you woken up with a clear solution to something that seemed impossible the night before? Think of that moment when you struggled all day with an important decision, analyzing pros and cons to mental exhaustion, only to wake up the next day with absolute clarity about what to do. This happens because during sleep, your crystal finally breaks free from the mental prison you created for yourself. Society has conditioned us to believe that productivity means always being awake, always active, always thinking. But what if the true work of your consciousness happens precisely when you stop trying to control everything? Take a deep breath now. Feel your shoulders relax. Allow this idea to penetrate every cell of your body. Your sleep is not an escape from reality. It's the moment you finally access complete reality, without the filters of ego and fear. The transition to the next level of understanding begins when you realize that every night is an opportunity to completely reset your mental programming. If this resonates with you, comment the word portal so I know we're on the same frequency. The ancient wisdom modern science is rediscovering. The ancient Vedics described the state of Turiya, the fourth dimension of consciousness that transcends waking, dreaming, and deep sleep 5,000 years ago. They knew that when we sleep, our individual essence merges with Brahman, the unified field of universal consciousness. Isn't it fascinating how cultures separated by oceans and millennia reached the same conclusions? Australian Aborigines speak of the dream time, a timeless dimension where past, present, and future coexist, accessible through dreams. For them, sleeping isn't resting. It's traveling to the realm where ancestors dwell, where all wisdom is available, where answers to the dilemmas of material life already exist in pure form. Have you ever woken up feeling like you've been somewhere important, talking to someone significant, but can't remember the details? That's your consciousness crystal, returning from frequencies so high that your waking mind has no vocabulary to translate the experience. Think of all the times you woke up with an inexplicable sense of peace, as if something profound had been resolved overnight, even if you don't remember any specific dream. Your higher self works tirelessly while your ego rests, reorganizing your energy, clearing traumas, downloading cosmic information that will manifest as intuitions in the coming days. Science calls this synaptic consolidation, but mystics have always known it's much more. It's your consciousness reconnecting with the source of all creation. Every night you have direct access to the same field of information that the great geniuses of humanity accessed. Einstein received revolutionary insights in altered states of consciousness. Tesla claimed to receive his inventions ready-made from an external source during deep meditative states resembling REM sleep. When you understand this, sleeping ceases to be a biological necessity and becomes your most powerful spiritual practice. Subscribe to the channel now if you want to continue exploring this knowledge that can completely transform your perception of reality. The veils that dissolve in the darkness. During the day, you wear masks, play roles, maintain a persona the world expects to see. But when darkness arrives and you surrender to sleep, all these veils dissolve. Who are you when you don't need to be anyone? This is the question your consciousness explores every night, navigating layers of existence where the rules of Newtonian physics don't apply. Have you noticed how problems that seem immense before bed often appear smaller in the morning? It's not that the problem changed, it's that your consciousness accessed a higher perspective overnight, a panoramic view where that obstacle is just a small detail in a much larger picture. Imagine that argument that consumed you all day, that money worry that tightened your chest, that fear of the future that paralyzed your actions. During sleep, your consciousness crystal spins to frequencies where these problems simply don't exist, where you experience your true, abundant, limitless, eternal nature. The forbidden knowledge isn't hidden in some secret book or occult society. It's within you, accessible every night when your ego finally silences. Spiritual elites throughout history knew this secret, which is why so many initiatory practices involve sleep deprivation or induction of altered states that simulate the deep sleep state. They knew that true initiation happens when you learn to maintain waking consciousness while the body sleeps, lucidly navigating these higher dimensions. Close your eyes for a moment now, just for 3 seconds, and feel the weight of your body in the chair. This weight you feel is the density of the third dimension, but your consciousness has no weight, no limits, no boundaries. This is what you experience every night. The absolute freedom of being pure consciousness. The bridge between sleep and wakefulness is where your power of transformation resides. Like the video if you're ready to explore this power that has always been within you. The nocturnal quantum reprogramming. While you sleep, your brain isn't just resting. It's performing a quantum operation of cosmic proportions. Each neuron becomes an antenna tuned to the universal field of information, downloading updates for your personal reality matrix. Have you ever woken up knowing something you didn't know before falling asleep? I'm not talking about obvious dreams, but that subtle knowledge that emerges, that certainty about a decision, that sudden understanding of a complex situation. Your consciousness crystal spent the entire night spinning through infinite quantum possibilities, collapsing waves of probability into concrete insights that your waking mind can utilize. Think of that time you were creating something, a project, a piece of art, a solution, and got completely stuck. You went to bed frustrated, thinking you'd wasted the day. But the next morning, as if by magic, the answer was there, clear as crystal water. This isn't coincidence. It's the natural process of your consciousness accessing the morphogenetic field where all ideas already exist in potential. REM sleep, which science still struggles to fully comprehend, is actually your moment of greatest connection with humanity's collective consciousness. It's when your individual crystal resonates with all other crystals, sharing information, solutions, experiences. The problems you face have already been solved by someone, somewhere, sometime, and that solution is available in the unified field you access while sleeping. The anxiety you feel during the day is often your system trying to process too much information with limited tools. But at night, without the restrictions of linear thought, your consciousness processes terabytes of cosmic information in a matter of moments. Breathe deeply now and feel the expansion of your chest. This physical expansion you feel is just a tiny reflection of the expansion your consciousness experiences every night. If you feel you need this reconnection, type expansion in the comments. And let's create a morphogenetic field of collective awakening right here. the forbidden territory of lucid dreams. There's a state where you can be simultaneously sleeping and awake, consciously navigating realms you normally only access unconsciously. Shamans have always known this. Tibetan monks developed specific practices for it, and now neuroscience confirms it. It's possible to maintain waking consciousness while the body sleeps deeply. Why do you think this knowledge was kept secret for so long? Because when you master the art of conscious sleep, you become immune to external programming. You directly access the source of all creative power. How many times have you woken from a dream so vivid that for a moment you didn't know if you were sleeping or awake? These are glimpses of your latent potential, moments where your consciousness crystal maintains lucidity while navigating higher frequencies. Imagine being able to consciously direct your nocturnal explorations, ask specific questions and receive direct answers, meet higher aspects of yourself, and receive clear guidance. This isn't fantasy. It's a dormant ability within you waiting to be activated. Society's fear of lucid dreams is no accident. When you learn to consciously navigate these dimensions, you realize that waking reality is much more malleable than you've been led to believe. You begin to understand that you can literally dream your waking life, manifesting from the quantum field to the physical field through the bridge of conscious sleep. Think of all the creative geniuses in history, from Einstein to Tesla, from Da Vinci to John Smith. All of them reported receiving their greatest inspirations in altered states of consciousness that bordered on sleep. They weren't special. They just learned to keep the crystal spinning even when they appeared to be resting. The feeling of déjà vu you occasionally experience is your consciousness recognizing something it has already lived during a nocturnal exploration. Linear time is an illusion of the waking mind, but during sleep, you navigate freely through the space-time continuum. Pause for a moment and place your hand over your heart. Feel the steady rhythm. This rhythm continues even when you sleep, just as your consciousness continues exploring, learning, evolving. The difference between you and someone who manifests miracles in their life is simply the level of consciousness they maintain during these nocturnal journeys. The alchemy of transformative darkness. The darkness you seek each night is not an absence of light. It's the cosmic womb where all creation begins. Your dark room becomes an alchemical laboratory where your consciousness transmutes fear into love, scarcity into abundance, confusion into clarity. Have you ever noticed how the greatest transformations in your life happened after nights of deep sleep? It wasn't the nights themselves that transformed you, but the work your consciousness performed while your ego slept. Every trauma you carry, every limiting belief, every destructive pattern, all of them are processed and transmuted during sleep, but only to the extent that you allow it. When you go to sleep with anger, fear, or resentment, your crystal becomes clouded, vibrating at low frequencies that attract more of the same. But when you learn to prepare your energy field before sleeping, you literally program your consciousness to access dimensions of healing and transformation. Think of that night. You cried yourself to sleep and woke up with an inexplicable peace. Your tears weren't weakness. They were the cleansing process that allowed your crystal to access frequencies of compassion and forgiveness during the night. The physical body regenerates during sleep. Science has already proven this. But what is not yet widely accepted is that your energetic matrix also reconfigures. Your energy centers align, your aura expands and purifies. Every cell in your body has its own consciousness, and during sleep they communicate in a quantum symphony, sharing information, coordinating healing, orchestrating regeneration. The tiredness you feel isn't just physical. It's the weight of carrying a dense reality all day long. Sleep is your moment to release that weight, to allow your consciousness to float free from the laws of mental and emotional gravity. Inhale deeply through your nose now, hold for 4 seconds, and release through your mouth. This simple breath is a microcosm of what happens during your sleep. You absorb cosmic energy, process it, and release what no longer serves you. The transformation you seek won't happen through more action in the waking world, but through a conscious surrender to the regenerative power of your nocturnal journeys. If this is making sense to you, share this video with someone who needs this message. Now I'm going to share with you a 3-step method to transform your sleep into a conscious portal of evolution. These steps have been distilled from ancient traditions and validated by modern neuroscience, and when applied consistently, they will revolutionize not only your nights, but your entire life experience. Accept the dissolution of the controlling ego. Before sleeping, you need to consciously accept that you will cease to exist as the personality you know. This might seem frightening at first, but it's liberating when you understand that you're just shedding a temporary mask. Lie down and mentally tell your ego that it can rest, that you trust the process, that it doesn't need to maintain vigilance during the night. Visualize yourself taking off layer by layer of identity, your name, your profession, your relationships, until only pure consciousness remains. For example, imagine you are an actor who has just finished a play. You take off your costume, remove your makeup, and finally you can just be yourself. Sleep is that moment of taking off all the costumes you wear during the day. Extract the gift from each nocturnal experience. Upon waking, before even opening your eyes, ask yourself what gift your consciousness brought back from the nocturnal journey. It could be a feeling, an intuition, a dream fragment, or simply a subtle shift in your energy. Keep a notebook beside your bed and write down any impression, no matter how small. Over time, you'll notice patterns, recurring messages, clear guidance. Imagine that every morning you receive a letter from a wise friend who lives in another dimension. Even if the letter arrives in a language you don't completely master, there's always something valuable to extract. Your nocturnal consciousness is that wise friend, always sending messages of love and guidance. Redirect focus from survival to evolution. Most people use sleep only to recover energy to survive another day. But when you understand the true purpose of sleep, you begin to use it intentionally for evolution. Before sleeping, plant a seed of intention, not a specific request, but an evolutionary direction. For example, instead of asking for a solution to a financial problem, intend to expand your consciousness of abundance. Your crystal will spend the entire night spinning through frequencies of prosperity, downloading not only practical solutions, but a complete reconfiguration of your relationship with resources. It's like the difference between asking for a fish and learning how to fish. When you sleep with evolutionary intention, you wake up not only with answers, but with an expanded version of yourself. Feel the weight of your eyelids now, even while awake. This weight is the constant call of your consciousness to explore beyond the limits of the known. Every blink is a micro-sleep, a moment where you briefly touch these other dimensions. Your body knows the way, your consciousness knows the destination. Only your ego insists on resisting. Your sleep is your doorway. This truth echoes through all dimensions of your existence. Awaken to what sleep reveals. Allow each night to be an initiation, a death and rebirth, a journey to the center of the mystery that you are. Beyond the veil of common unconsciousness, your consciousness awaits you with all the secrets of the universe, not because it learned them, but because it is one with the source of all wisdom, the crystal of your consciousness. Never stop spinning even now while you believe you are fully awake. Part of you is dreaming, accessing, downloading, processing. The separation between sleep and wakefulness is a necessary illusion for the human experience, but you are ready to transcend that illusion. You are not here by chance. Something in you recognizes these truths because they are not new, just forgotten. When you understand that every night is an opportunity to die to limitations and be reborn into infinite possibilities, your waking life will naturally transform. Problems that seem like insurmountable mountains will reveal themselves as mirages. Solutions you desperately seek will emerge naturally. The abundance that always seems to escape will flow because you will have aligned your frequency with the source during your nocturnal journeys. The knowledge that has been called forbidden is not forbidden because it is dangerous, but because it is too powerful for an unprepared consciousness. But you who have come this far, who have resonated with every word, who have felt your inner crystal vibrating in recognition, you are ready. Tonight, when you lay your head on the pillow, remember that you are not going to sleep. You are going home, to the unified field from which you came and to which you return every night. The journey that begins when you close your eyes is the most important of your existence. It is when you become what you truly are, pure consciousness navigating the infinite ocean of possibilities. Your room becomes a temple, your bed an altar, your sleep a sacred practice of reconnection with the source of all creative power. Breathe deeply one more time. Feel the anticipation of the next nocturnal journey. It is coming, as it does every night, but this time you will meet it consciously. Embrace it intentionally, navigate it lucidly. The crystal of your consciousness is ready to spin at frequencies that will transform not only your dreams, but your entire waking reality. You don't manifest what you want, you manifest who you are, and who you are reveals itself most clearly when all veils fall in the sacred darkness of sleep. Tonight, allow yourself to be the cosmic explorer you have always been. Allow your consciousness to dance through the dimensions, collecting gifts, receiving guidance, remembering forgotten truths. If this message touched something deep within you, if you felt your inner crystal responding to these frequencies, like this video now, subscribe to the channel to continue this journey of awakening, and comment a word that represents your intention for tonight's journey. Let's create a powerful morphogenetic field here, where all who seek this knowledge can meet and strengthen each other. Share this video with at least one person you know is ready for this message. Collective awakening happens when each individual crystal begins to spin at its authentic frequency, and that begins with you tonight, when you close your eyes and truly allow yourself to travel where your consciousness has always wanted to go. Beyond the veil, your consciousness awaits you.